Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. I am your host, as always, Paisano. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about rock and roll here. And if you've been watching for a while and not yet subscribed, please do. I love subscribers and I love comments, so keep them coming. Tonight, we're going to talk about U2 and a pretty controversial album called Rattle and Hum. Now, Rattle and Hum was kind of a combination album between a live album, which kind of documented their 1987 tour, particularly in America, touring for the Joshua Tree, which I happened to mention when I reviewed the Joshua Tree album, that I was lucky enough to see them at Foxborough Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts on September 22nd, 1987. And this album caught a lot of flack. A lot of critics didn't like this. U2 at the time was obsessed with American music, and just the American culture in general. They were fascinated by American music of all kinds. And they took the opportunity to perform with some of their favorite artists. There's a collaboration with Bob Dylan, there's a collaboration with B.B. King, and there's the inclusion of a choir that they came across in Harlem, New York City, that did a rendition of "I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For," which is a song off of the Joshua Tree album. And a live performance of that is included on this album. It was a little. U2 was still trying to capitalize on their stance as the biggest band in the world at this time. But the critics were, kind of hell-bent on knocking them down a peg by calling this, disjointed and off base, and they accused them, their collaborations with Dylan and B.B. King. They accused them of trying to make themselves their equal, which is crap. They absolutely worship these people, and they considered it an honor to perform with them. No doubt. U2 did not have that kind of ego, at least at that time they didn't. They were still, believe it or not, as big as the Joshua Tree was, they were still on their way up, because Achtung Baby in 1991 really sent them into the stratosphere. That really cemented them as the biggest band in the world. That album was absolutely huge. This was also a film. This was actually made into what they call a rockumentary, which is a documentary about rock and roll. That's a term used. And you got to see this, a lot of this on the big screen. It was a pretty good album, a pretty good movie. Obviously the companion to the record. This is a double record. I bought it very shortly after it came out. It's an original. And it has some great songs on it, no doubt about it. Let's go over the track listing, shall we? Starts off with a Beatle cover, Helter Skelter, which I believe was taken from Sun Devil Stadium at the Arizona State University. That's where the Joshua Tree tour began, followed by an Edge sung tune, Van Diemen's Land, and that bleeds right into Desire, which is one of my favorite U2 songs. That's a great rock and roll song. I love Desire. And side one finishes with Hawk Moon 269, which is a collaboration with Bob Dylan. I believe Bob Dylan plays organ on it. Side two of record one, Angel of Harlem, which is a tribute to Billie Holiday, who was a American jazz singer. Another nod to American music, followed by Love Rescue Me, which was a collaboration with B.B. King. They made a video for that one. It was a very good song. Actually, I got that mixed up. Love Rescue Me was a collaboration with Dylan as well, I believe. When Love Comes to Town is the collaboration with B.B. King that they made a video for. And it's a pretty good song. Finishes up with Heartland, which is a studio recording. Side three, which begins record two, All Along the Watchtower, a Jimi Hendrix cover. And then I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, performed by the choir, the church in Harlem. This was actually performed in the movie. They actually show a rehearsal for that, for the show that they would perform at with U2 on September 28th, 1987 at Madison Square Garden. That's where this live recording on the album takes place. But in the movie, it was they filmed the rehearsal. That is followed by Freedom for My People, which is about a 40-second clip of some street musicians that U2 came across in New York City. After that, Silver and Gold, and a live Pride in the Name of Love, which is off of the Unforgettable Fire, I believe, studio album. Okay, the final side of record two, God Part 2. And then a 45-second clip of Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock. Then a live Bullet the Blue Sky off of the Joshua Tree, which is an outstanding rendition of it. I believe that was also taken at Sun Devil Stadium. Could be wrong. And then a big single for them finishes off the album, All I Want Is You. So there were 4 singles released from this: Desire, Angel of Harlem, When Love Comes to Town, and All I Want Is You. Excuse me. All in all, I consider it a very good album. I could see where some people could say it was disjointed. There were came from a lot of different directions. It's a great shot of U2 performing at Sun Records, the home of Johnny Cash and Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, the birth of rock and roll. You can see the Edge over here, looking at the picture of Sam Phillips adjusting the tire, Johnny Cash. Definitely a legendary studio, and they were honored to perform there, honored to record there, actually. Not sure which songs on here are recorded there. And U2 had a little bit of money at this point, and some interesting packaging here. Some shots. B.B. King, the band, individual shots of the band, group shots of the band. This side, you got Billie Holiday, Elvis Presley. And the records, each side had the face of each of the band members. Bono, and that's Adam Clayton, the bass player there. Got him upside down. There he goes, Adam. That was Bono there. The other records would obviously have the Edge and Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer. I was lucky to see these guys twice, once in 1987 and once on the Octung Baby Tour in 1992 by the time it got to the United States. Some more shots of the band. Various shots of them playing live. There as well. And this record would have Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer. And on the other side is the guitar player, The Edge. U2. They held the title, the biggest band in the world, for probably about 5 or 6 years. They were huge. Huge, huge, huge. At a time when people today, kids today don't know what fame was before the internet. Before the internet, you know, I doubt the world will ever see the kind of worldwide fame somebody like Michael Jackson had, or Madonna, or U2, or Metallica. You know, I mean, that was worldwide fame, and it was a great time to be alive, no doubt. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. What will Paisano dig up next week? Tune in, find out. Thank you, and good night, YouTube.